These are today's top stories. St. Kitts and Nevis experiences weather disturbance. Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation responds to 2015-2016 address in the Bahamas, and anti-austerity rally in Greece on the eve of EU crisis meet. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ Mid newscast. Today is Monday, 22nd June 2015. I'm Carla Berridge. In national news, St. Kitts and Nevis is being impacted by a tropical wave. According to a release from the Met Office, the tropical wave is interacting with an upper-level trough. The Met Office has therefore asked persons to take precaution when crossing the guts, as some are expected to flood. Up to press time, we were told that the office is currently monitoring the conditions and will downgrade or discontinue the warning as warranted. CARICOM Youth Ambassador Sonia Body recently represented the Federation and the region at a Youth and Internet Fighting Radicalization and Extremism conference. Organized by the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO, the conference was held at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris on June 16th and 17th. Body described the discussion as timely and important and said everyone who has access to the Internet should be made aware of the dangers associated with it.
We live in a global village. Once you have access to the Internet and other means of ICT, you can access any type of information, and we want our young persons to really become more educated on what's happening in the world. Certainly, I think this discussion will definitely a good way forward as we try to work together at the international level to combat the rise of incidences of young people using the Internet negatively.
She encouraged Internet users to be vigilant when browsing websites.
Well, I just want to encourage all persons to, employ proper practices while using the Internet. Again, we are not too far away from what's happening in terms of ISIS and extremism and radicalism in other jurisdictions, and we must be vigilant, we must be aware, and we must encourage our children to not buy into negativity that they see online.
Regionally, with the 2015-2016 Bahamas budget now passed in the House of Assembly, a prominent figure in the business community is weighing in. In the proposed budget, Prime Minister Perry Christie revealed a number of initiatives designed to stimulate the economy. It's something Chairman of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Gowan Bowes, said those in the business community must take advantage of. Bowes says a significant amount of reclassifications is another challenge that has resurfaced in this year's budget. While there is no set solution to the resolving of the country's financial woes, Bowes is confident that better days are ahead. In Barbados, Tourism Minister Richard Seeley is forecasting better days are ahead for Barbados with signs of improvement in the economy. Seeley is therefore urging party supporters and citizens in general to stay the course or face government's fiscal measures. He told the gathering at the Democratic Labour Party annual Father's Day luncheon yesterday that the current administration was behaving like a dad when the household was facing financial challenges.
We have been doing what I think all fathers do with families when they go through a tough time. You explain to them, we have to take certain measures, but surely even though the sadness will endure for the night, joy cometh in the morning, and it is clear that we are turning the corner. Things are starting to improve in Barbados from an economic perspective, and we have to continue to steer the course. And it is the support that we have enjoyed from many in this room and those who could not be here but that are here in the spirit that has allowed us to do this, allowed us to govern in these extremely difficult times. And so I think I also can use this Father's Day event as just as appropriate as any occasion for me to also express gratitude for all of those who are currently in government, who are trying to get us through this period. And in my view, we are doing it quite successfully given the circumstances.
Internationally, protesters are calling on the Greek government to defy its international creditors and reject austerity. Thousands gathered in Athens ahead of the last-ditch talks aimed at securing a debt deal and keeping Greece in the Eurozone. It has until the end of the month to repay a $1.8 billion loan. More in this report.
ZIZ is unpopular in some parts of Europe, not here in Syntagma Square in Athens. After years of austerity, these people believe they have a government that's on their side. Weighing in at more than 600,000 people, Greece's public servants represent 1 in 6 Greeks still in work.
Our government is negotiating an honorable compromise. It wants Europe united, not divided, under Germany. We want to stay in Europe as an equal member, not as a debt colony.
Some here are from the private sector to support the stand against austerity on the poor and middle class.
We came here to support our government's efforts and to tell Europeans that numbers aren't everything. There are also people here and they're suffering. We don't want the same social classes to continue to lift this weight.
Century-old laws have given state workers tenure for life. The state has shed 300,000 jobs since the crisis began, but most were fixed-term workers whose contracts expired, or workers who took early retirement deals not available in the private sector.
This is the most powerful and well-organized labor force in Greece, capable of swinging elections. At more than $1 billion a month, it is also the most expensive, claiming more than 1/5 of the budget. But these people have had their salaries and once extensive benefits clipped already. They do not also want to lose their tenure. The ruling leftists agree, saying that with the economy as fragile as it is, laying them off now would cause further recession.
There's little sympathy for these people in the engine room of this economy, the private sector, which has taken the brunt of unemployment, still at 25%. Last Thursday, private sector workers took to the streets to express anger with austerity they feel is imposed on them for the sake of maintaining the state. This and pensions are the government's biggest expenses, red lines it has vowed to defend. As the government heads in for a showdown with its creditors, its popularity seems to vindicate it. 2/3 of Greeks don't want the government to back down. 47% would re-elect it today, 11% more than it got 5 months ago. But the Greeks' desire to remain in the Eurozone without further austerity may turn out to be two incompatible positions. John Psaropoulos, Al Jazeera, Athens.
Residents of the Iraqi city of Tikrit have started to return home 3 months after pro-government forces recaptured it from ISIL. The two sides were engaged in a month-long battle, and even though fighters were forced out, much of the country has been left damaged and deserted. Al Jazeera's Jane Araf reports from Baghdad.
For displaced Iraqi families, there are few occasions to celebrate. This trip home was one of them. 200 families who found refuge in Samarra boarded these buses for Tikrit last week, the first of what local leaders hope will be a wave of returning residents.
My children didn't sleep yesterday out of joy when they heard we are going back. We don't want anything from the government except stability and peace of mind.
Tikrit is less than 50 kilometers from Samarra, but it's a journey families haven't been able to make for almost a year. Iraqi forces and Shia fighters recaptured the city from ISIL fighters in April. But there's been so much destruction that some people don't have homes to return to. For the rest, there's not much except a roof over their heads. There are no shops, no bakeries. The Jassim family is the only one on their block to return so far. They admit it's difficult.
We couldn't stay on the move forever. We spent an entire year not knowing where to go. The people of Samarra embraced us, but we need all the people in our neighbourhood to return.
City workers have restored electricity, but Tikrit needs a lot of expensive reconstruction, and no one is offering to pay for it.
It's not just rebuilding that's needed, of course. Almost 3 million Iraqis have been forced from their homes over the past year because of fighting. Most of them won't return until they're reassured that ISIL won't come back again.
It's not an easy promise to make. The front line has shifted time after time, with ISIL retreating, then returning. Near Samarra, these Iraqi forces make a point of rehoisting a flag on a ridge captured from ISIL last week. With so much equipment seized by ISIL, Iraqi security forces have started designing their own armored vehicles. In desperation, this unit has rigged up a remote control rifle to spray covering fire without putting a fighter in danger. The U.S. has responded by cautiously increasing its presence, sending in more advisors to train Sunni recruits at a base near Habaniya in Anbar. These are the sons of tribes. They're not new to fighting, but it's a different battle.
We fought in the old army, then we fought Al-Qaeda in 2006, 7 and 8. We were victorious and we smashed them completely because we had the initiative, the weapons and the support. Nowadays, ISIL is using armoured vehicles and filling them with explosives. So how am I going to fight them?
Without the confidence that they can defeat ISIL, fewer Iraqis will be willing to take the chance of going home. Jane Arath, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.
In the weather, winds today are east-southeast at 18 to 20 miles per hour. Temperatures are expected to reach a high of 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Skies over St. Kitts and Nevis tonight will be partly cloudy, becoming occasionally cloudy with moderate chances of some overnight showers. Tomorrow will also be partly cloudy to cloudy with occasional showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:48 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 5:38 a.m. That brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Barrage.